Yo, Longhairs. This is episode 100. Here we talk long hair and business, advocate for hair equality, and celebrate men's long manes with hair whips and high fives. If you're a guy with long hair,
you're in the right place.
I love
At the Longhairs Global Headquarters, I'm El Rubio, and celebrating 100 episodes, here gathered is the largest single podcast episode in the history of Let It Ride.
Rob.
Starting on my left, we have El Chuckarino, El Gustavo,
Hello, my friends.
El Spencerino,
Yo.
El Moreno,
Hey.
El Garvinsky,
Yo.
and El Sicario.
What's up?
We are letting it ride. It's going to be pretty close to blog post number 390-something. The content machine has produced unwaveringly for nearly 7 years.
It's been a long ride.
This podcast being one of many forms. We've had a lot of guests, a lot of tech setup, a lot of delays, reschedules, and some grand slam home runs. But today, boys, we're just hanging out, bringing it to you from the whole squad. And we're going to switch things up a little bit. And that's pretty much all for me. We're just going to let you guys take it from here. And what the hell do you have to say, boys?
Guys, it has just been an absolute incredible journey. 100 episodes. I mean,
100.
Look, El Chuckarino, you've always been a big advocate of the podcast. You were like, guys, you got to start doing more podcasts. Can you get more serious about it? You know, we always enjoy doing the podcast. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had some amazing runs. Literally everything El Rubio said has happened, from technical failures to complete cancellations of major multi-million-dollar CEOs to recording entire episodes for 2 hours and just have nothing. And didn't hit record.
Or like on Friday, Garvinsky and I had this epic conversation, and then when I walk into it, he's like, "Hey, bro, so the mic actually wasn't recording the whole time?"
No.
And it's like, come on, man.
Mic's off.
Yeah.
And just think of how many different places and setups we've actually had the podcast from.
Yeah.
When you guys first started out in Little Italy, to the garage, to the Ocean Beach Satellite HQ, to the warehouse when it was headquarters, and now into the headquarters, and however many other places we've done it.
Absolutely.
At the Knockaround HQ, too.
Yeah. We've been mobile. First one ever was at James Coffee with David James Kennedy on an iPhone, El Rubio, storming in, not even knowing who David James Kennedy is. And if you don't know, turns out he's a mega rock star, but also amazing entrepreneur here in San Diego and owner of James Coffee.
Episode 1, just waltzing over there, going to go interview some coffee guy with long hair.
Pardon me, sir.
Turns out to be
Super
DK,
ultra famous.
the big man. And
So-
that's how we kicked it off.
Yeah. And through 100 episodes, we've seen all these things, the ups, the downs, everything. Episode 100 here, it's like this is the end of the beginning. We're finally through the beginning phases of the podcast.
I feel you.
Like, look at how many mics we have set up here, how many guys we can actually have on. We got our actual soundboard is legit now. We have... It's only going to go up from here, boys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys are ready. In the last 5 months that I have been here, I have witnessed, like, personally, exponential growth in this company, not just with products, but with people that we've been able to connect with, everything. It's absolutely exploding. It's amazing, I have to say.
Hell yeah.
Not fast enough.
Not fast enough.
Yeah, the amount of gear on the table right now, all of you guys just, we're actually being able to fill this table. Feels pretty great.
Yeah.
Stoked, dude.
Yes.
Hey, Gustavo, you've had quite a few shows you've been on.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with you here? What's been your favorite episode?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. There's so many, and then a lot of them are blank.
The ones I've been on.
Right? So when I'm not over here, I'm usually, just doing my thing at the warehouse. And so I don't have really a favorite. I have to look back through all our blog posts, podcasts. here. Yeah.
How about any moment that you remember?
Any lounges, any special guests?
Actually, I like doing the whole like going other places to do it. Like, and somebody like.
Guys, how about the most listened to podcast of all time, The Awkward Stage with Gus?
Wait, is
No
that still
way.
the most
That's
listened?
true. That's the real figures.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Still number one?
Yeah.
No way.
I remember that.
I thought I got overtaken by likes.
Well,
That was in the round 2 the old headquarters in the
Unreal.
shared space of
Still
the
the
round
best.
2 headquarters.
Yeah.
I believe.
Wow.
That's when I was getting out of my like very like shy, quiet, just like I was just different. I'm a completely different person today.
Bro, we dropped your video from that blog on IGTV, and it killed. It still resonates to this day.
Mm-hmm.
You're an all-star, Gus.
Oh, thanks.
All-star awkward guy.
It was cool, pretty cool actually. Yeah. Still, yeah, and actually when we started, we would actually have on Instagram the speak with all the viewers, like would actually live, and it was pretty cool. But I'm not sure why did we stop doing that, by the way.
I don't know. His hair's long, but he's still awkward, folks.
So this is something that could still continue.
All right, I'm just gonna go through some of our past. I'm just scrolling through the archive page for all of our podcasts. Some of our past guests and shows. We mentioned David James Kennedy. We've had our boy Danny Ramirez on a number of times. El Pelo Risado, Mike Lynch, the man who connected us and originally with manufacturing for the hair ties for guys. We had a Swedish ninja warrior, Oscar Orn. That was an early one. We've had some parkour bros. We had a CEO. We've had several CEOs. Banging with Joey Muha.
Yeah, that was cool.
How would you describe his shtick? He does a drum beat to he'll play a song basically.
Yeah, but like odd songs, right? Like Mario or like
Yeah,
whatever.
like-
and he does heavy metal drums to like the Mario soundtrack or like
Yeah, he had one of those. He had,
Jeopardy or something.
yeah, he could like play stuff by ear. Like he could listen to it and then like play the beat. And he had super long hair, basically down to his hips. And he would headbang the whole entire video.
Yeah.
And he was
That's
at
tight.
the time he was like basically viral on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Totally.
pretty dope.
He had it going on. I wonder what happened to what's going on with him.
I bet you he's banging the drums somewhere.
He's
bet
definitely
you.
drumming somewhere. I'm sure.
His hair's to his toes now.
We had an awkward interview with an awkward guy in the awkward stage who we just realized is still pretty awkward. Gus. This was a new format. We did the Longhairs strike mission to Austin.
In the car.
Oh yeah, the car. That was people like that one.
Dude, that was
Yeah.
sick. Me and
Yeah.
El Moreno drove to Austin, Texas from San Diego for Jeff Gonzalez's bachelor party and recorded
We got busted for weed.
Oh, dude, man.
Well, we told the story in that podcast.
Yes, we did. So if you really want to hear that one, go back to the Longhairs strike mission to Austin. We had Sam, the first man with the bound shears tattooed.
Excellent.
I mean, you could just go on and on. I'll spare you every single one, but
Yeah.
it's worth
The Lane
going
Train.
through the scroll. The Lane Train, Lane Pittman.
Hey, some deep ones that come off the top of my head, like Marshall Chakro. Like that was an emotional style
Yeah,
episode.
I remember that one.
Elefante, we got some tears going in the crowd on that one.
Yeah.
Just there's powerful stuff in there. It's amazing all the connections, and when you sit down for a podcast, you really have no idea how it's gonna go. You might have a few questions in mind, but it always like starts going one direction, and then you just kind of lead into that. And some of the stuff that comes out of it, and how some of these guests have been willing to open up and share, and it's just been phenomenal to learn their stories, but share it with the community too.
We should say that El Chuckarino has been instrumental in securing some of the most high-profile blockbuster guests in the history of Let It Ride, not least of which J.P. Sears.
JP Sears.
Yeah, that's a good big one.
I think you linked us up with Joey Muha.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
found that was the first guy I ever.
And didn't you either pass it on or Caleb Fossum recently? NFL
Caleb
prospect,
Fossum,
Cougar.
Blake Fox.
Blake
Yeah.
Fox,
I
dude,
don't
that's
think
our
it's-
boy.
I don't think I had 100% credit for Matt Strom, but I think I played
You
a
had
part.
some-
I played a part.
You absolutely got in there. Matt Strom, one of our
Major League
hottest
lettuce.
dealing guests of all
yeah.
time.
Fernando Tatis, remember that one?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
yeah, right.
dude, I was not there
my,
for
yeah,
that
my
one.
good friend. Yeah, me and friend. Hey, he liked the video, man. We're basically
Dude.
buds. He liked that one.
Hey, come on. We can't forget El Sicario's debut here on the
Dude,
podcast.
that was
Come
huge.
on.
Shout
that
out
was a huge
to
one.
Sicario.
That
And
was
El
a
Sprintino.
beat.
Patio.
A lot of people love that show.
I was there for that one. That it was
that
alright.
one-
Sick.
Nah, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself, man.
Jesse Marvin, we've had
Oh, yeah?
on.
Can we just
So-
talk about how cool Professor Marv is?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Like you look
He's
at
the
that guy
man.
and like your stupid monkey brain's like, you know what? F that guy. Like, well, your long hair, your mullet, bro, and you're super jacked. And then you meet him and it's like, damn, he's so cool, dude.
He's unreal.
I gotta
Yeah.
say, there are not too many people in this world that have a mullet, and you see it and you're like, God damn, that looks good.
Yeah.
Mullet plus
He does
You
rock
know,
it pretty
He
good.
does it very well.
And then he like goes home and eats like plates, like 45-pound plates for dinner.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's a savage.
One thing, we did another format we did for a while, and maybe we'll bring it back, but we haven't done one for a while. Those were the fireside chats.
Yep.
Those were our favorite. That's when we read audibly one of our past blog posts, which I think is
Was
great.
it Fireside Reading? Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry. Fireside readings. Reading a blog post is one thing, you can get the experience, but doing the fireside readings, you can kind of hear the emotion or
Yeah.
whatever the mood of the reader, and you actually get the audible experience of the blog
It's
post.
like a
Those
book
ones are
on tape or
badass.
like
Yeah.
like Audible, like the app Audible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be fun to do to go back to those is to do the readings, and we did this with some, but like spend a little bit more time and like add sound effects and external sounds.
Along with
and
my
like-
awesome fire GIF that I add to the images.
yeah.
I enjoy
Dude,
doing that. That was
pretty
fun.
I want to get a
That
whole
GIF is
soundboard.
hot, literally.
Yeah, I want to get a whole soundboard of just all the things Gus says.
Yeah.
Dude, sick.
Yeah.
Down for shit.
Damn, full shit, fuck.
Dude, we gotta just have like a quote, Gustavo quote.
Hit him, stupid.
Dude, I would. Speaking of fireside readings, I would love to do the Longhairs of the Old West.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have
man.
like,
That's yours, bro.
yeah,
That's
dude.
a perfect
run it.
one.
Have some gunshots in the background,
Yeah.
some Native American whooping.
Story time with Spencerino.
Ooh, gather round, boys.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, as the podcast manager here, there you go.
Well, in that case, it's approved for production, so we'll set something up.
About time.
So what else is going on, boys? Baseball's hot right now.
Baseball's
Okay,
hot.
for those who can't see, El Chuckarino is literally wearing a staff uniform from the Padres facility.
He looks
see.
like their bat boy. And it's killer.
Guys, are these your seats? Can I see your ticket, please? Can I see
Dude, you have to pull that off tonight. Dude, you should pull a long hair aside. You should just spot long hairs and stop them and ask them for their ticket.
Can I see your ticket, please? I'll
And
be
then-
taking that.
Dude, your mom will record one of those, and then,
Is that a full plate of nachos? Sorry, I have to confiscate it.
and then juice them up with a hair tie. We got to get you fully loaded
Dude,
for the game tonight.
Give him,
Take,
Oh,
take
yeah.
a bunch of hometown
Yeah.
give him
Yeah.
some hometown Browns for
Yeah.
sure.
Juice him up, be firing
Full
them
blown
off.
first game of the season for me.
Oh, man.
Believe it or not.
No wonder you brought out the whole union.
Damn, dude.
Did you have this laying out last night when you went to bed?
Yeah.
Your outfit picked
Yeah.
out, ready
Full
to go?
blown. Full blown.
It's awesome.
Dude, you're gonna
love
love
it,
the
man.
Jumbotron.
I couldn't believe the energy when I was in the stadium. It was a Sunday game. Took the girls, the whole fam, and it was a sold-out game. And I had never been to Padres baseball game with that many people in the stadium. It was just phenomenal.
Dude, it's
It was
really
just
insane.
electric. Yeah.
I haven't gone to a game all season, and I've seen people that I know who've moved away from San Diego come back to San Diego for a visit and go to a
Right.
game before I've gone to a
Oh,
game.
mercy.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, that's when you know.
Totally.
Something needs to change.
Totally.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a game yet this season either. That needs to change.
So wait,
Yeah.
how many tickets do you have, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
going-
You have 8?
I'm
You want us
going-
to come and crash the party with you and your mom?
Going,
You're going with your mom,
hey,
right?
how do you know I'm going with my mom? What, do you talk to my mom?
Oh,
or
no.
something?
I'm sure you mentioned it at some point. I think you mentioned it
Oh,
earlier
yeah,
that you were going with your mom.
I mentioned that.
Wouldn't you rather go with me?
Shit. Peg.
I'm going with my mom, okay? Gosh.
That's great. What better
Yeah.
place to go
Dude,
hang
it's
out
cool.
with your mom? Dude, that's where Lindsay El Moreno met his wife.
Yeah.
It's one of the
Oh.
best places, social. Everyone's pumped.
Cool.
Especially when the Padres have a winning record, then it's really popping down there.
Yeah, everybody's a Padres fan when we're doing that.
Ryan Cohen, biggest Padres
yeah.
fan, no doubt. He will be there. He's been on our podcast.
I'll see him. I'll look out for him.
Ask to see his ticket.
You're working tonight, dude. I don't think you're just gonna be hanging with Ma the whole time. You're on the clock, buddy.
Yeah, make sure you
I'm on
clock
the
in. Clock in.
Or Matt, if you're listening, Matt Strom, we would like some tickets. That'd be great. I don't know.
Wow.
That is a very,
Unreal.
Wow, bro.
Unreal.
Dude.
Why would you say that?
Wow, dude, you give
Jeez.
a mouse
Wow.
a cracker, huh?
That's
Like
just
that.
like you don't. That's like the number one way how to not ask for
Yeah,
tickets.
That's the
I know.
number
I know
one.
who's never coming back on the show now.
Amazing.
Damn, bro. You know he watches all our stuff.
You know what's
too,
funny?
dude.
Okay,
That's the
funny
homie.
thing. This reminds me of like Gus just doing funny stuff. Like a couple weeks ago, we went out to El Cruce.
Oh, God.
It was when I think it was all of us were there.
Yeah.
Minus El Chuckarino.
Yeah.
We paid for, or it was for your birthday, right?
Mhm.
Was it your birthday? I don't know. Whatever. We were there. The ground floor murals folks came over. This was like the day after they were on our show. And, they're just eating like an appetizer or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something nice for them. I'm going to get their lunch for them. Okay.
Right.
So I pay for their lunch. Like, don't tell them. We say bye, whatever, walk away. We go like a block down. We're sitting in this thing where we're like fully protected, right? With the fence. No one can see that we're in there. We're having like one more beer before we come back. And I just wanted to be like so just
Low-key.
a surprise to them, low key, and just not say anything. And that's how it was. We left, and everything was fine. Then we're over there, and they're like walking back to go set up for their art show. And Gus gets up over the gate. He's like, "Hey guys, what's up? Lunch was good, yeah, yeah." All this, and they're like, "I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You just blew our whole thing, dude." Now it's like all awkward. Now they feel like they have to come over and thank us. What do they say? First thing they go over, like, "Guys, thanks for getting." I'm like, "Bro, geez, Gus, just blew that."
Here's the thing: if you ever go out drinking with Gus, he gets very friendly and very outgoing. Still awkward, but very friendly. In fact, I remember at the camp out, he came over to me and started like massaging my shoulders. I was like, "Dude, no."
Calling HR.
Yes. Well, Spencer was like, "Dude, I'm just really into my phone right now. Stop touching me."
Look, dude, I'm way too fucking stoned
got a high
to
score.
appreciate what you're doing right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
My favorite part. I don't know if I shouldn't say about the camp out.
Well, you brought it up, so it's a little.
Well,
late
let's
for
just
that now.
save it for the vlog, okay?
Yeah.
Now that we're all here, that we're all in this episode here, this is crazy. Maybe this is too many guys to have on a podcast.
No, dude, where's Evan?
Yeah, we need Evan on. But how exciting is it, the stuff we got going on? Anybody want to talk about what we have? A little foresight into the future.
Oh.
Some products we've been working on.
We need to get El Micharino
Dude,
on the
we
show.
Yeah.
Side note.
Absolutely.
For sure.
By the way,
Everyone's gotta
you
meet
got-
Mitch
I know not everybody's seen Mitch. A lot of you at the retreat did, but we see him every week on his report, and we need to get. I asked everybody if you guys feel good about sending the reports to everybody. I think we should do that moving forward. So you'll start seeing Mitch in his video. He went from short hair on the first interview, full blown thick flow to his shoulders. He
He's-
looks amazing.
A little
It's
past his shoulders
100%.
even, I
Yeah.
think. And
Yeah.
it's just longer every week.
And it's amazing
Nice.
hair, like that
Yeah.
super thick, kind of like Gus's style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really thick. Yeah.
He's
Gus
got to
has
go.
hair that we
So
all
cool.
envy.
Yeah.
It's thick and luxurious.
Got to get El
All right.
Micharino out here for sure.
We'll get him queued up. Well, we need to get him out here
Yeah.
first of all,
Yeah.
but we could get him on the show. in the
He's working
meantime.
on it. He told me he's getting close
Sick.
to be able to come over.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
he's coming.
I mean,
he is
well,
in the
COVID's
Philippines. For
done,
anyone who
so-
doesn't know,
Yeah,
El
Philippines.
Micharino is our customer service expert
yeah.
and just holds it down on the customer service
Philippines
front.
field
Great
He
ops.
works from the Philippines, and we're gonna get him over here very soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Oh,
El
yeah.
Ivana's coming out too this
Yeah.
week, I think.
Maybe making the move.
His
Yeah, maybe
birthday is
they
the
can
day
move.
after tomorrow.
Yeah, his birthday is the 12th.
Happiest of birthdays to you, Elevano.
Let's get him out here.
Let's get him to
I think he is
finally grow
coming.
his hair, huh?
Yeah.
Chuck?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Almost almost 2 months without a haircut.
Oh man.
So
Let's
Okay.
make that 4.
that's pretty.
Chuck has owned up to his cuts though, and he's
Totally.
he's come clean and he's discussed. He's given us some sense of what's going on there
Sure.
emotionally, the
Yeah.
external pressures.
right.
Ivano he did tell us that his girlfriend cried, and he gave us the whole story.
He was like in though.
He was,
on the
dude, and he was
edge.
looking great. Oh man, that one was.
He was on like the 20-yard line, just a couple more
He was
months.
right
Oh.
there.
Yeah.
just not his
He
time
could've
yet.
Punched it in.
His time will come. His time will come.
Yeah, his time will come.
In this life or the next.
So
I gotta,
okay, morbid.
I still got to get this. Sorry. About
no,
that.
go ahead.
No.
I gotta.
please.
I
Hair's
gotta
looking
shoot
good,
my shot
Chuck.
when I can.
Yes.
I have been using the minoxidil, and it's grown back significantly.
Absolutely.
Great.
But
Nice.
still, gotta do it while I can.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hell
Chuck,
yeah.
Well,
Dude,
now
it's
you have no
coming in.
excuses.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
you're through the wedding, engagement, the things,
Yeah.
the trips, the everything. You're got a clear runway now. It looks like.
What I say on stories last week. On stories, I was like, guys, I don't want to say. I was like, I'm not saying I'm growing it out, but I don't have any haircuts on the calendar.
Good man.
You're gonna make a run. You're gonna make a playoff run.
Listen,
We'll see how
Chuck,
far I get.
from one long hair to another, please grow your hair out for us.
Yes.
I have the agenda for you. So grow your hair out, then bust the tattoo.
Yes.
Oh.
There we
yeah.
go.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
wife
there we
will
go.
love
Right on
that
the
one.
neck.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. You can. Yeah. And then Great Cut 2024, you can cut it off again.
Anyway, so Chris
Yeah.
has got something here that anyone with any hair length pretty much can use.
Guys, we got the next version in, and we are looking
What?
clean.
That was built
What?
for me.
That is
built.
Damn, son.
just beautiful.
Forgive the few little blonde strands in there,
Next.
guys. I've been testing her out over the weekend,
And-
but
Yeah, well, I
Look at
pass
that.
that around. I'll
essentially,
get that
effectively
going.
the
Dude, that's-
vertically here.
Dialed.
And we've had a couple
really
of
like
runs
that.
through
Let's get
product
this on camera.
development.
Am I
We've
good
had
right
some
there?
testing.
Mhm.
Put it
Damn.
closer.
Don't
Look at
apologize for the
that.
blonde hairs, man.
Look
How
at
are we supposed to
that.
trust you if you haven't tested it?
Yes,
Good?
great point. Astute.
Man,
Yeah.
look at this thing.
That's how we know.
Dude.
That's a beautiful thing.
Double hit with the bound shears,
Oh, yeah.
high
Laser.
torque, low drag.
Dude,
Laser
standard.
engraved.
High torque, low drag.
I don't know if you
Perfectly
can hear
balanced.
this, you guys listening, but listen. Like, this thing
Solid.
is solid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could knock someone's teeth loose with that
Yeah.
thing, if
this is
need be.
Dude,
So
John Wick could kill at least 13 people with this.
he did it with a pencil. Why not a hairbrush?
Right.
And comb his hair right after. Brush his hair right
Absolutely.
It's fucking sick.
But it can't
Yes.
give him acting lessons.
Looks great.
Hey, as
I don't
long
know
as
if it's-
Keanu doesn't have any lines, he's
Well,
good.
I just want to do the whoa, bro. Whoa. Take it easy, man.
I don't know if the light is just. It seems darker. Like they got it
It does seem a little
right, or maybe that was this one or something, right?
It could be because they're all natural wood, so all the wood looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
every single brush.
Natural
Yeah.
wood.
They're all gonna look
But
different.
I
This
thought the same thing. It
tomfoolery.
does look a little bit darker, which
Like
is what
it's-
we were going for. Not
exactly.
quite stained.
The
but
logo,
there's
right?
a clear
Yeah.
coat
But-
put over it.
Right.
a darker
And
wood.
yeah, I don't know. It definitely seemed a little darker to me too.
So to answer your question, guys, no, not. Oh, yes, we did want the logo darker, but just overall the
Oh,
wood
got
feel.
it.
We were kind of like asking, hey, could we get like a mahogany stuff? So
So
we're
there's
gonna
that.
the first ones are gonna be a little bit lighter. We're gonna work on some staining, some darker, maybe some limited edition versions. Who knows where it's
In
gonna
the
go.
end, it's functionality, dude.
yeah, we're gonna get this out there.
Yeah.
You're gonna love
Sick.
it. Feels phenomenal.
Definitely.
I have not given up yet on the next, probably V 3.0 or something when you can
Yeah.
pull the knife out of the
Love that.
back of the handle
Yeah.
in case someone's
That's
trying to
so
come up
cool.
on you when you're
That's
brushing
the,
your hair.
That's the El
Absolutely.
Sicario model.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
This one's the El Rubio model.
That's
we're
the
getting
IKU
there.
model.
We're working towards it.
That would be phenomenal.
That would, yeah.
Just a little clip mechanism, like once you push it hard enough, it's like.
It would also
So
be
it locks.
illegal, but details.
Why would it
Why?
be illegal?
To have a knife.
I'm sorry, I
and a
thought this was
hairbrush?
America.
Yeah.
Depends on the state, but
I call it the machete version.
I don't
Oh,
think
it has
it'd
to
be
get
illegal.
through the airport baggage. The
You might not be able to fly with it.
Maybe the blade only has to be like a certain.
4 inches.
well,
Okay.
if that's the case, then let's do
4
it.
inches, 4 ounces.
4 inches or less.
Anyways, radical.
So
I
two
think
models, right? We got this.
we're-
Yes.
Tell us about what we got
Yeah.
here.
Okay. So we have two. We were looking at the boar bristle, and we tested a number of boar bristle brushes, and they are nice, but what we have here is a nylon bristle, and they have the little ball at the end. And the problem with the boar bristle brushes is that you really cannot, when you have long hair, you really cannot get penetration all the way to your scalp. And it really ends up effectively just feeling like you're kind of petting the top of your head or the outside of your hair where the bristles won't get all the way through. So personally, I love these with the nylon bristle. We also did a second brush though with the nylon boar bristle mix.
Yeah, the hybrid.
Yes,
that's what I have at home is the hybrid. And
yes, and you said you love that one.
I get really good results with that one because my hair tangles like pretty fast. So I like the hybrid one, but I've used that one that Gus is holding up right now, and that one works great. So honestly, I don't really think we can lose here.
Yeah,
No.
totally.
The bristles have different functional. They're for different uses though.
Yeah,
a boar
I see.
bristle, you're not meant to penetrate the scalp with it. Boar bristle is meant to give your hair shine, whereas the nylon, and it has the little balls on the tip, it's meant to penetrate to the scalp and stimulate circulation to the area.
Yeah, but
And I like that
I like the prospect too.
In the area.
I like the prospect of potentially offering at least 2, if not all 3 options.
Sure.
Yeah.
The bristle and the nylon and the combo,
Different types
because
of hair.
I mean that's what we do already. We serve all kinds of hair here, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
we'll let the guys choose.
Yes.
Completely see it.
It's also almost
Cheers.
exactly the size of my tattoo.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I know.
Speaking of that, I'm
Ideally.
overdue. I'm gonna get it.
Good.
Just want to throw it out there.
Great. We know.
I believe
we know.
it
When's
when I
your
see it.
appointment?
The bangs.
No, that hasn't been confirmed, but I want to get it from the Sierra Cult. So
Ooh.
I am
Name
Back to
dropping.
the
Now
thing
we're
real
name
quick because
dropping.
we're like working on some packaging for that. I don't think we've really told any of you guys here, but to get your reaction. We're thinking of like a little
Nice.
kind of sack, burlap sack it would go into.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know, with like
Yeah.
a drawstring with the
Protect
logo
it.
on the front of the sack. So it'd be like a cream. Try to get as close as we can to like our ivory color.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then just a hit of the straight logo on the front of the burlap
kind of like
sack.
a travel bag too.
Like
like
silk
protects it,
screened on the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like
Nice.
a vinyl heat press and like
better.
melted into the
Yeah.
bag, I think.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
We got a guy.
Yeah.
We
Working
got
it out.
We got a guy.
Yeah, his stuff is
We'll get
it's
it
cool.
dialed.
I like it.
We got a guy.
Mike.
I dig the idea. Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
I think it'll
So-
be really nice. You could put your
Yeah.
hair serum in there and your hair ties, and you got
Yeah.
all of your hair stuff. And
Exactly, a little kit,
dope
right?
little, yeah, it's
Just a
like your
little
dop kit.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Throw a head wrap
kit.
in there.
Yes.
You could fully load it.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
You know?
I-
Your
I could
travel
see
size
that.
shampoo and conditioner, a hair serum, your
Yeah.
hair
And then-
ties.
I can see that coming in the Love Is Art box.
That'd be cool too.
Like a similar size. It's just like a full kit, all in one.
yeah.
Yes. There's also some sleeves, like a dual, like a bill fold almost. That could be like nylon or even a leather material. We're working on some combs also. Those are a little bit longer in development, but where you could have your brush and your comb, and there will be a couple different combs, just your whole kind of kit. But
Your hair
a wooden
care kit.
box would be a handsome addition.
Oh yeah.
A handsome
yeah.
presentation.
I mean,
Sure.
wooden for sure. I was thinking just like the fancy cardboard with the
Yeah,
artwork
yeah.
on it.
We should advertise that in like Sean Connery's voice. And if you order this now, it'll come in a nice, handsome wooden box.
You could put
That'd
your
work,
weed in
dude.
there.
you could put your weed in there, Moneypenny.
Super down.
So we got the brushes, we have the combs,
Yeah.
we have about just like 20 other things coming.
Yeah.
We're hitting the product development really hard
We
so
have
far
some,
this year.
some fragrances and beard oils potentially coming your way as well.
Yep.
Forget about that.
Brace yourselves. My
Yeah.
goodness gracious. They're
How about
amazing.
the? I'm not sure if you wanted to bring this. The manufacturing, not change, but like just changing things up in that aisle.
What the hell? You're in a non-disclosure agreement.
Hey,
In
hey,
violation, direct violation of the
cut.
Yeah, that's
NDA.
why I didn't go there directly.
To Gus's point, no, we're testing out some changes to the hair ties, trying to get some extra stretch, some different softness, some different feel. So, yeah, not much to really report on that yet, but that will be coming out. We could have a V5. Speaking of versions, we kind of ditched, like we lost track of the versions.
I was
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Wasn't it 3
All
points or something?
3.0 was the last like
3.0.
huge
Something like that.
promo version.
Yeah.
And since then, it's just been like
iterations. It still could have been points, but I don't know. It hasn't really.
Well, wasn't it like when it was V2 2.1 was like a new set of designs, right?
Well, the big number, so from 1 to 2 was
Right.
like actual structural changes.
Yeah, so there was structural changes.
Yeah.
But then like when we were in V2, there was V2.1, V2.2, and those were like we came out with 6 new packs of different designs. Like
I can't remember what it was.
remember which-
I remember the 2.0
the
was
1984s, the
Yeah,
Stripers,
right.
The ultra radicals.
Ultra Radicals were in
Yep.
there.
Ultra radical.
The Cheeseheads. Cheeseheads were V2.
Yeah.
The salmons or the fresh waters and the salt waters.
I don't know. Did we just outgrow it? I mean, we have 78 collections now.
Well, now there's so many
Insane.
collections coming out all the time. It's like we'd be on like V3.84.
Yeah. Well, you know what we ran into a problem with V3 to V2? It was kind of like we were still selling V2 and we were like, but there's V3. And then people were like, what's V2? The V3 are these V3s or and then we had to like put V3 on the website to make it. It kind of got confusing, honestly.
Yeah, it did.
Right.
It did. And really, by V3, we had made most of the significant changes, whether structurally
Yeah.
or the manufacturer, just how it's all put together. I think once we put the stitches in the label that goes over the seam, that was kind of the last. There's been really ultra small variations in terms of the circumference or exact material or what have you, but it hasn't really changed structurally
Yeah,
since then.
for sure.
But what are we going to call? So, okay. Also working on some smaller hair ties
Yeah.
that you would use for if you're braiding your hair or pigtails or people with really fine hair or children often. Like
Yeah.
your girls have super, super fine hair.
Yeah.
It's a lot of material for the big one.
Totally.
So they would be smaller in circumference, but also only half of the width.
But very stretchy.
Yes. Those I think are going to be a huge hit.
Totally. Then
Hair-
big ones.
And then the true XLs.
Yeah.
That are not the full thin headbands like we have been using, which work as the XL hair tie and which as we have been selling, but a hair tie, basically the standard hair ties for guys, but I believe we added an extra 1.5 inches.
Yeah. So
it'll stretch.
here's a good way to put it. You couldn't wear it as a headband.
Right.
But you will be able to wear it like as a 4 or 5 wrap
Yep.
head wrap. El Sakar, you've been testing those out. What's your kind of feel so far?
Let us know.
Start with your hair type, just so everybody is clear.
Yeah, so I have. Is this one part of that batch? Because I have
No,
a
it was
few-
the Padres one.
Got it. Yeah, that one. I felt pretty good about it. It was the stretch was a little bit different, but I feel like it gave me more options. Like, my hair's. I had to trim. I don't know if y'all caught. Who you guys listening? You caught where I had to trim a bunch of my hair out because
Yeah.
I went too long without a trim. Get trims, boys. But so my hair's starting to get kind of back to that length where when I do like the big tight bun while I'm lifting, I need to be able to get like that stretch, that last bit to really keep my bun tight. And that new one was actually really nice for that.
Okay.
Versus these I'll get that last twist, but I can tell like man, if I keep doing this, like it might shorten the lifespan of my tie a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jose has one of those hair types where he needs his tie to be almost nightmarishly elastic, and that is the truth.
Yeah.
Him and Gus.
Yeah.
Both.
So, but overall I think the new did like whatever we mod
XL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new XL version 3 Mark II or whatever,
Mark
Yep.
dot
Yeah.
1.2.
I think some people might be a little like, well, I already like this one, and why are we changing it? But overall, I think once people get it in their hand, they'd be like, oh, okay, I'm down with this. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is going in the right direction. So.
For sure. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So
Hell yeah.
on that note of stretchiness and getting your hair tie too stretched out, something on the Instagram DMs that has been popping up the last couple weeks is I've had a guy ask, how long after my hair tie stretches out should I get a new one or get a new pack?
Yeah.
And then one other guy who I'll show you the picture later, but he literally sewed his hair tie back together with like a
His
needle,
own-
like on his own
job. Yeah.
Like I have no idea how that operates anymore. Obviously, he is dedicated,
committed
to that hair
Damn.
tie.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the average lifespan of like an actual hair tie is from Hair Ties for Guys?
I mean, it all is going to depend, right, on your hair type, how you're using it. Are
How
you
often?
rotating through? Are you asking a single one tie, or are you asking like a whole pack? Because that's, I think, two different questions.
Well, let's answer both those questions.
Okay. I mean, and that's, but again, it's like, it goes back to how that person's using it. So
Right.
if you're doing a triple wrap every single day on the same hair tie, and you're like pretty mobile, and you know it's really moving and stuff in there, and you re-wrap it twice a day, you know, this is like, I don't know. I would say, look, we'll guarantee you're gonna get 30 solid days out of that.
Easily.
But yeah, but from personal experience, I've seen those ties last a year, 6 months to a year
Yeah.
of like heavy usage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm this blog. We're kind of Tarantinoing this, but I'm actually adding the first 2 ties that I've ever bought before I was even an employee here. I bought Vikings and I bought Kaleidoscopes. So I bought 2 packs at once. That's 8 hair ties, right?
Yeah.
And those 8 ties, I cycled them for over a year, and then after a year, it was like, okay, man, these things are like ready for retirement. but like some people, I think, because I've seen the flack that like, oh, these hair ties, like they're all stretched out now, and it's like, yeah, but you got to understand, at the end of the day, it's a high quality elastic, but it's still elastic. It's not like steel wire, bro. Like, you know, it has a lifespan, and if you're using the same 4 ties over and over and over again, then yeah, they're gonna die essentially, right?
Yeah.
Well, bear in mind too, like just because they're stretching doesn't mean they're not working anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's another thing is that he hit the nail right on the head, is like, even though now your hair tie is nice and broken in and it doesn't go reset back to the same small position that it was in before, that just means it's not stretching as much to get in your hair, but it's still gonna. It's the size of the hair that you have.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But like that's why we offer like the 2 for $20. Or like buy more of these things, not just to do business with us, but like because they're gonna make your hair ties last longer.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have like 3 or 4 packs in rotation, and that's actually gonna make them last like much longer.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, we've seen the whole gambit of timelines on hair ties after 5-6 years of seeing this. Now it's like we've seen guys with like V1s like 5 years later.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
And we've also seen guys who call us in a week and say, you know, what's wrong with my hair ties? And it's like, what'd you do? And he's like, I ripped them in half on purpose. And it's like, why? And it's like, well, maybe that's why your hair tie's not working anymore.
Well, we'll get some back, and it's very obvious that someone has taken them and tried to like stretch them out and break them. It's like
they saw the kettlebell video and they're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
We'll just see about
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
It also depends on your tolerance level for your hair ties. So, I mean, if you love them like fresh and like really crispy and like bold colors, you want to rotate a larger selection so that they stay fresher. If you're talking pure functionality, the ability to tie your hair up and hold it securely, one hair tie can easily last a few months. Now it's going to start to get a little bit faded. It's going to be a little bit stretched out. It may, in some cases, although I haven't seen this lately, start to get the bacon effect a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the elastic, but I haven't seen any of those in mine recently. Although I usually end up giving away my hair ties before I've used it a few times, just on the mean streets. But if you don't mind, just pure functionality, one hair tie could easily go, a month or even several months with no problem. And I have met people who's like, oh yeah, you gave me that one hair tie like a year ago, dude. I still got it, man. I still use it.
Favorite hair tie, man.
Like, all right, great. Love it. Favorite hair tie. That means you know where it is. You're never going to lose it.
I still have a set of black ties from when I came into the HQ for the first time that
Classics.
good old El Moreno gave me. And there was a period of time I was wearing them every single day for months, and they're still just as good as they ever were.
Can we get this one on camera? Are we
Yeah.
good, are we good right here?
For the people not looking.
Yeah, so I'm holding up one of the Island Vibes right now, and this thing still looks damn near brand new, right?
Looks great.
This one's like 3 months old.
Yeah.
And I use my hair ties every single day, right?
Yeah.
Or at least I have them on my cankle wrists, which, you know. But like
His wrists will
wrist.
damage the elasticity.
but the point is, this hair tie still looks. It has no bacon effect. It still looks like I just bought it maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's because I'm cycling them through, and I'm making sure that I'm storing them properly, and I'm taking care of my product, right? And so I've heard people say like, oh, well, like they're $3 a hair tie. It's like, yeah, bro, but that's because you're not buying garbage,
Right.
You know, the toxic ties that you're buying at Walmart.
Ding, ding,
Like,
ding!
yeah.
El Sicario made that up. It's great. Toxic ties.
Yeah, the toxic ties you're buying at
Exactly.
Walmart, like there's a reason why you're getting 20 for $2 because they know it's a war of attrition. Like most of those are going to snap in the first couple weeks, right?
You could burn through 3 of those in one day.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yeah.
Toxic ties.
You pull on those.
Okay, good ties are not cheap, and cheap ties are not good.
Exactly.
The same can be said for a lot of things in life.
Yep.
Yep. Just like Sweet Lady Propane. It's clean and efficient, I
Yeah,
tell you
man.
what.
So you had asked a question that we went on this like magnificent tangent off of, where you said like, what's like our? It was like something about what's our favorite change or what's a big change that we've noticed.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm the newest guy on the crew in this room. Actually, I think period, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and even in the couple months that I'm halfway through my 3rd month.
Yeah.
Um,
End of this month is 90 days.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen a huge amount of change. You know, like we haven't unveiled like some massive new product, but like just the engagement even has grown, and like I've seen more orders, like the queues are getting bigger, and like and there's just constantly like you guys are constantly innovating. And one thing, it's funny, I've heard, yeah, well, no, I'm specifically referring, this is like your guys' dream and you're allowing us to partake in it, right?
Yeah.
But like it's funny because both of you have said the exact same thing, not knowing that the other guy said it, which is when like I would have an idea and it's like, oh, like maybe when things slow down, and then like instantly, like an attack dog, like an assassin, it was like, it's not gonna slow down. It's not. Like, just do it. You know? And both of you have done that. To me. And then I realized like, dude, it's never gonna slow down. Like and it's like it's crazy the stamina that this company has of just like constantly dropping videos, constantly dropping blogs, new content, like Instagram, YouTube, bang, podcasts. Like here we are,
100 podcasts.
100 podcasts,
100 episodes. Holy crap!
Yeah, but that's one of the things I admire about being here is like the work ethic.
It's
like
awesome,
just
dude.
Every day, dude, you have to show up and be ready to bring it because
Yeah.
we're working on something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny about that is like there's, we've been doing this for 7 years, and a lot of like people who get into business or want to do like something or going after something, like there's a like want, especially these days, for like this instant kind of to see the change in 1 week,
Right.
and everything. Like
Yeah.
where I think we're a really good example of like, look, if you hang out here for like 1 month, you might start noticing little things, but it's like if you hang out here for 1 year, you'd be like, oh wow, look
Holy.
at all these things that
Yeah.
changed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you go back and you're like, wow, that happened and this happened and that happened and that happened. So I guess what I'm getting at is like just the gradual progress. It's hard to notice it on a day to day, especially when you're like in the weeds or whatever, trying to get these tasks done.
Yeah.
But like when you kind of step back and then you look back, like, oh, 3 months ago, what was it like? Well,
Yeah.
3 months ago, even let's say 6 months ago, there was only 3 employees here.
Yeah.
There was only, and like, so now what do we got today? We have staff is massively increased. Like some of our internal things have massively changed from like our HR and all these things. So day to day, it's like, are we really growing or what's the new thing or whatever? But then
Yeah.
you take just one glance, and to me, that's really reassuring of like, hey, we're doing the right things, because it's easy to get caught up in that, like,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it today. Well, that's fine, because change happens over time. We're playing the long game, and the the big growth or the huge change is not going to be in a 1 week or 1 month span. It's the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year where you look back and be, damn, look how much has changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, there you might have some big bursts, just like when you're lifting weights. You know, you might go in for, you might have a hot day. You know, you might put up some weight. That's the most you've done. But then you try to come back and do that tomorrow, whatever. It's not going to be there. But what took you there? It was 9 months of lifting every day.
Right.
You know,
right.
and then to get to that next level, it's going to take another, probably maybe even double the time. So I think what our team is doing here, what we are all doing together, is a good example of like, it's just the slow grind and just day-to-day progress that you're not going to recognize
It always
on a
has been.
day-to-day basis. But
Yep.
in the big picture, it's fucking huge.
Yeah.
I had a
It's the
question.
long game, baby.
I had a question for you guys. You know, like, how do you guys feel, you know, this year in our massive increase in content, you know, from IG, YouTube, you know, what's your guys' thoughts on that?
It's I don't know. I think it's actually like speaks to what I'm saying right now, but you know, I feel like we're definitely in this, we haven't wrangled it all in yet. You know,
It's
of
coming.
like with
Yes,
what we have
dude.
the capacity to do and like what we're actually putting out. Like I look at, you know, we have the two YouTube channels, and like
Yeah.
I'll look and I'll be like I forgot that we put out that video 2 weeks ago. You know, I'm like, oh, we haven't put out a video in a long time. Then I look at the other channel, I'm like, oh, I actually put out 3 videos in the last 3 weeks. For example, you know? So I don't know. I think we're just figuring it out is where we're at right now.
That's the best part. But then, like, the Let It Ride channel, for instance, you know, it was kind of like Ghost Town. And then when we put some energy towards that, you know, now we're like really flying off. We got like content, and it's just like people are like providing feedback and really getting engaged to some of the stuff we put out. Like, we feel it.
Yeah. I like to go through and read the comments. And
Yeah.
number one, they're always positive, which
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
You know? And
Unless it's our ad comments.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, dude. But like, especially the YouTube, where like you could tell the ones that like they actually listen to or I mean watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's like that's the reassurance that like this is something good.
Totally.
That guys are out there and they're maybe like they don't know anybody
Right.
that has like another dude with long hair, but they get to go on Instagram and see like, oh man, look at this thing, like look at these guys, and look at there's 25,000 dudes on this that have long hair. You know?
Yeah.
And
And how it spans, I mean, we've said this a lot, but just that it spans all age groups. And, you know, I mean, look at Chase, last
Yeah.
week's piece.
El Rubito.
Yeah.
That's
Just how stoked was that
Yeah.
little guy, you know? And
He was so happy.
how about the comments, too, we got, like, of moms and other people who commented in, and they were like,
Huge.
this was amazing for my son to see. You guys got to do more of this kind of stuff. And everything. I was like, dude, this is, just a clear indicator that we got to do more stuff for the little guys.
Oh yeah.
Specifically, like, not that, I mean, everything can be for the little guys, but like really just say, guys, this is just for you guys, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, watching Chase react to his own video going up.
Yeah.
That was
That was cool.
It was like it really cemented in that this new generation has it so different. Like they're not like that they're idolized us or anything, but like the people they look up to and how they look up to them and like the mediums that they're fed are so different. Because I'm sure
Yeah.
when we were kids watching TV cable channels 1 through 99, you know, watching whatever baseball guy it was at the time, imagining that, and then you see Chase going, link in bio, link in
I know.
bio.
So, yeah, swipe up. I put the link down here. I put the thing at the bottom.
Yeah, link right
How cool
here.
is that?
Swipe up, and instead of what we probably grew up doing, like pretending like we're swinging for the World Series or
Right.
whatever, like
Out in the backyard by yourself, bottom of the ninth.
bottom of the ninth. and the young generation of today is going link in bio,
Link in
swipe
bio.
up.
Full count.
Yeah. But to bounce off of that even a little bit further is when we were little, who did we idolize? Like movie stars, sports guys, like, you know, maybe an astronaut, like whatever,
Musicians,
musicians. But now, like, we're doing something awesome, but at the end of the day, we're not famous. We're just dudes. Like
Sure.
we're just
Genuine.
normal
Yeah.
guys doing a thing. And then
A little
there's
bit of clout.
there's this little kid, probably more than just Chase, obviously, but you know, we can say with certainty there's this little kid, and we're like his idols, you know, and like to him, we're probably as cool as like Iron Man or whatever, you know.
I don't know about that.
Well,
Yeah, I
no,
don't know about that. I don't know
but the
about that.
point is that like, but think about it. Like, what does he care about? Like, a lot of little 9-year-old boys would be like, "Oh, I like Batman."
Sure.
And then if you
Yeah.
ask Chase, like, "Hey, what do you care about? Like, what's cool to you?" and he might talk to you about the Longhairs,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Iron Man, you
No,
know.
yeah, for sure.
True.
And so
It's
it's
within
it's
reach.
interesting that how social media, like, I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of detrimental things that it's doing to kids, but there's also positives. Like, there's
Inspirational
people,
value.
Yeah, people are more accessible to each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
For people that actually care, like little Rubito,
Yeah.
to find someone that he specifically cares about instead of like
Right.
this idol that's assigned to him because he's told to care about it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. And it's pretty awesome that we can, like bring him in and how
Yeah.
much that means
Yeah.
to him.
And,
And I think I think the Great Cut was a perfect example of like that too. Just bringing a lot of people together for this community thing. Friendships were forged and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was extremely
Yeah.
powerful.
and one thing that I mentioned to Chase, I asked like one question when you guys were talking,
Yeah.
but it was about like, I told him like, other little boys are gonna see you on this video and they're gonna look up to you.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was like empowering this little boy to be a leader,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to go against the grain. He's a little boy with long hair,
Yeah.
and think about how many boys, and you guys have written blogs about this and whatever and done interviews, but like how many little boys, like they can't have long hair because it's like not masculine or boys don't do that or whatever, and then like they see this kid and they're like, well, he does it,
Yeah.
why can't I do it? You
And
know?
he's the leader of the little long hair lads.
Yeah.
Man.
Founding member.
Founding member.
Not gonna lie, a little bitter you didn't take my name, but that's
Hey,
okay.
he came up with that. That was
That's okay.
his.
Wait, who did?
Chase.
Okay, never mind. I forgive
Wow.
him.
Yeah.
I forgive him.
Hey, back to your question, Garv. That was a thoughtful question about the content and increasing the volume and the quality of the content over this past even 3 months recently. Putting out a lot more video, the podcast, really just everything across the board. And I look at our content as like our art, and we are creators, and that's our creativity. So it benefits us in so many ways. That the content is the voice of the Longhairs, and that is what allows us to connect to the community. That is what has built the community. It'd be very difficult to call people if we had 1,000 people and call, hey, this is what the line, this is what we're all about. Hey, cool, man. Like chat it up
The
and
lines
would be
say
hot.
some funny stuff. It's impossible, literally, to
Yeah.
reach that many people directly by telephone. But we have a website. That's where it starts. That's where we publish the content. That's where our canvas, if you will, okay? And then we have our email list, and that allows us to reach all of our people and show them the stuff that we've been making. And even from the very beginning, we kind of just set out to like make people laugh and
Yeah.
have some fun with it. From our very first piece of content we ever created, the Hair
Long
Ties for
hair
Guys
at high
commercial. Yes, that was blog post number 1. We made the video a lot sooner, but we didn't publish it until way later, which Garv was the director and producer of, incidentally.
Bam.
And the fact that we get to do that, to make our creativity, to make our art as our business, like that is our number 1 job, and that gets to be our job, and that also forces us to. That's why it never slows down, because
Yeah.
every week the blog post is due. And so we put that burden on ourselves, but it is the achievement of that burden that brings so much gratification
Right.
and some great stuff to the business. It brings community, it brings audience, it gives us a reason to reach out and say stuff. So the fact that we're doing more of it now and we have more of a team involved, it's a challenge for sure, because the pace is increasing. And there's just more stuff flying and more things to approve and get published and have the copy and all the different pieces and aspects. But we've been putting this team together, and we're putting it together, and we're putting out more stuff, and more content is more better.
I wanted to also chime in on this too. Like, not only just having more content, like I feel that we're having more styles and different voices, and it goes beyond just that that tunnel, but it's like now it's multiple tunnels and different avenues, and I
Yeah.
think it's a beautiful thing.
There are more
I like
people
that.
from different walks of life that are contributing to it.
Absolutely.
I dig it.
Well, we've never had 7 bros on the podcast before
Yeah.
either, so
Yeah.
we're just cracking through ceilings
Sick.
in every direction.
Pretty heavy. A lot of mics.
Oh
in
yeah.
here.
A lot of mics.
It's worked out better than even I expected. There was a few moments there where it was a shit show, but for the most part, we've all had our cues pretty good here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more from Chuckarino.
On
Rare occasion.
On anything.
I don't
Anything,
know.
man.
You were in. What was the first?
Okay, I'll break down my podcast history.
There you go.
I'll take it from here.
Thank you. See, I knew I could just say your name and you would take
You know
it
what
from
it
there.
is? It's the Padres shirt. That's what it is.
It's okay. So obviously I helped book a few podcasts early on, but I remember the honor and the excitement I had when you guys. I can't remember if it was El Moreno or El Rubio, but one of you guys invited me on the podcast with El Mateo from Praetorian Ventures.
Yep.
And that was the first pod, and I was like, I told my girlfriend at the time, I told buddies, I was like, I'm gonna be on a podcast. I've never been on a podcast before. I was commuting at the time, like over an hour, so I was really into podcasting. I was like, and that was super fun. We had like the projector screen up on the back of the garage, so that was pretty cool. We were looking at stuff.
Yeah.
And then we got to come back. My second podcast, which is a double. These are the 2 big ones that I remember. Was that the Praetorian Ventures? And then we went and did the Shark Tank audition together. And
Sick.
and
Shark Tank recap.
Talking
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah.
So was our episode recapping like you guys actually being on the tank?
Yeah,
or
it was the
recapping
whole
audition?
experience. So it was after we
it was-
aired and everything. We
Right.
talked about the casting and just the whole thing.
Because we couldn't really talk about it.
Oh
prior,
yeah, I can talk
right?
about it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was super fun and cool, and that was not as big as the awkward stage episode, but it was a pretty big episode.
Got a lot of downloads.
Got a lot of
Yeah.
downloads.
If you guys have never read that blog, the our rehearsal recap blog, the title is slipping
The
my mind.
audition.
Yeah, the audition.
Is that Talking Tank?
Shark-
Or is that
No,
another?
No.
Okay.
This is a Shark Tank
audition. The Longhairs deliver. I think it's
Yeah.
something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That is just an absolutely hilarious. Go
What-
read
That
that.
one's great.
Oh, Moreno, what was when I remember, because we obviously were in line for, I met you guys there. You guys were going to Mammoth after, and then I drove home from,
Yeah.
it was like basically like Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And there was something that came up that El Moreno was like, I need this right now, and we have to drive somewhere, and Chris has to stay in line.
It was our application.
Oh, it was the
Like,
application. It was the application.
Well, we had it done, but we just needed to print it. We had
Right.
to print it out. Like we couldn't.
Meanwhile, other people have their application up against the wall. They're still filling it out in
Yeah.
line.
The cigarette smoke was thick.
Acrid.
That one's great.
Oh man, thinking back just to that, like how far have we came since just that day, and that was like being pinned up against 4,000 other entrepreneurs out there,
Yes.
or would-be
yeah.
business
Well,
people.
and there
Who
is-
knows? People. Some people were like, I say this in a nice way. Some people were like a joke. Some people were really had stuff going on.
And some people thought they had stuff going on.
The guy, I remember the guy right behind us I don't think he had anything. I don't think he knew there was an application. I think he just showed up and he was like, guys,
I got this great idea.
I trust. I can't tell you the idea because it's worth too much. Like one of those.
Yes.
I don't have a prototype or anything like that, but it's a really good idea.
Oh man.
That kind of brings it back around, and there's one more thing that I wanted to mention just in regard to the content, and this being episode 100. is just the consistent, the overtime. It's the long game, and getting to 100 episodes on the podcast. Linz was mentioning a minute ago. People want that like instant gratification, overnight success, 5-minute abs, and it's not out there. And really, the achievement comes when you hit marks. You're as good as your last published date. Yeah. And if it was more than 2 weeks ago, then you're lagging. Yeah. And so anyone who, when I talk business or, hey, I got this idea or I want to start something or I'm not sure what, I always say, like, you can start a blog. That is the lowest common denominator. You can do it. Anyone can do it. There are unlimited resources on how to start a blog, on how to start a website, how to write a blog, how to publish it, how to do the email. That was one of our goals from the round 2 original strategic plan was why are we going to make it? Because we are motivated, and there's unlimited resources that we can learn how to do what we're trying to do, and we know we're never going to stop.
Yeah.
So from day one, it was like, we're going to do it. And now we're at episode 100, and someday we're going to be at 1,000. Yeah. So it's a huge benchmark to hit an episode like this, and especially podcasters. You know, I got episode 1, episode 5, done 5, and then they start to trail off, and then you don't see one for a month or something. It's not, it's hard to do. It is hard to do. Yeah. So it's not, giving anyone talking down on anyone for that, but tell you what, when you get to 100. Something's going to be working for you.
For sure.
You're either going to figure out a different direction or it's working for you. Get to 100 and your money.
What's interesting, too, when you say that is like, because when we started, I feel like, we always knew like owning our own property was a big deal, and that's why like blogging came so naturally to us because we're like, we're just going to put it on our website. We own this, self-hosted, blah, 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 all this stuff. It's just our stuff, right? But it's changed just from the time we start, like where there's kind of like no excuse if you're saying I'm going to start this thing or whatever, because you could literally just commit to YouTube. You could commit to just Instagram and just try to get that consistency. Like the platforms are so much different, and you could have success on any just one. You don't have to be this omni-channel. I think you do if you're trying to really build like a business that like an e-commerce business. But if you're just trying to be like a personality or something, you could commit to one and build that thing over consistency over time. Where like I don't even think that was as much of an option when we started as it is. It definitely wasn't.
I just saw that post come up in Facebook Memories recently when you guys hit I think 800K views on YouTube or something.
Oh yeah.
And Chris wrote consistency over time equals like success or something.
Yeah.
But
some formulaic.
This really brings me back to when podcasting, since this is episode 100, podcasting started to get more consistent, and that was in the garage. That started in El Moreno's garage. And I remember one, I think it was around the new year in 2018, we talked about get a streak going.
Yes.
I think there was blog number 300. Yeah. There was something else going on, and it was get a streak going.
Yes.
And right now, El Moreno's even on a streak. Streaking 75 hard right now. So I don't know if anyone else knows what that is, but El Moreno's really excited to tell us.
He actually used that line on me.
No, because 12-day shit.
Hey, if you mess it up, you got to start over, do 75 more.
Exactly.
He used that line on me. It was either yesterday or today. He said, get a streak going.
Like, feels good.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, that's what we've done here. The streak of the blog is it's a streak.
Unbroken.
It's a streak. So
it's unbroken.
You can have like daily streaks. You can have weekly streaks, monthly streaks, whatever it is for you. But it all comes back to discipline,
Mm-hmm.
And just if you say you're going to go out and do this, it's like, you're not going to nail it the first time or the first 20 times or the first 30 times. Just like his podcast. Still not nailing it.
Getting the tech set up.
Exactly.
Can I give an off-brand example?
Yeah, go.
So one of the reasons, obviously, why I joined the team is you guys very graciously offered to like mentor me for my business, right? And like we actually haven't sat down. Well, maybe like a couple of times I've sat with you. But like honestly, I've learned a lot just like looking over your shoulder. Like how does that work, And you guys have been very, very generous and like showing me like, hey, this is how we do this, right? And so one thing I sat down with my business partner, thisamericanblood.com, check it out, is I told him, yeah, buy a shirt. Actually, this is a new one. Can we get this one on camera? I just got this demo in yesterday.
www.thisamericanblood.com.
But the point I'm trying to make is I saw that you guys are just consistent. And not every single piece of content is going to be this like home run, game changing, like the Padres video where you're handing a dude a hair tie and that just like blew up, and then like the next one might have 100 likes or whatever. But you guys show up every single time. Like there's always something new coming out. And so like I approached my business partner. I was like, look, dude, let's just consistent, like one shirt, one new design a week, There you go. And our store went from 2 options to now we have like 15 products.
Look at that.
And then all of a sudden we started selling, dude.
Yeah.
And just like, dude, keep pumping it. Like post on IG.
Sick.
Get word of mouth sales, like circle of influence. Like let's go, dude. Like every single week at least has to be something new.
Keep throwing darts at the board.
And then all of a sudden, just like that, like hundreds of bucks later, it's like, holy crap, dude. The secret is to start. That's the first one. But then that's the secret to like, I don't know. But anyway, the real secret is to be consistent.
Yeah.
And if you have to start 10 different times, oh well, but just keep showing up again.
Yep.
That's what I've learned here, dude, for sure.
That's awesome.
It's one of the many things.
It's great to hear.
Yeah.
Love that.
Keep
showing. Stepping up to the plate.
Hey,
if you strike out, fine. Guess what? You have another at bat. Start over.
That's
we're gonna need you in the later innings.
That's basically how I ended up getting this job too. I had that one Instagram account where in 2014, back when the timeline was chronological, I just posted once a day, every day, and then I had an account, and then 2 guys met me at an art show, and they're like, "Think you know about social media, punk?" and here we are.
Yeah.
Posting on Instagram still every day.
Still doing it.
Yeah.
So, guys, I think the whole message here to wrap this up, we got some guys who got to hit the road here. But the whole message is just get that streak going. Be consistent. Step up to the plate.
Yep.
Look, if you feel bad about one of your at-bats, fine. It's okay. Shake it off. Move on. Come back up. You're going to get another shot next week or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to commit to.
Yeah.
You got to take that
100
shot.
podcasts
Keep
later,
showing
Yeah.
up.
you're going to have 7 dudes on one show.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, too, like just with like our blog streak, okay?
Yeah.
There's been times where we've published on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday and stuff, It's like, look,
As in late, like
late.
into the following week.
Yeah, it was late. It still put up a number, We easily could have been like, let's just wait till next Friday and just skip that one. Like we could, that could have been no one's putting a flame up to us or threatening us, We easily could have did that, but no, absolutely not. Late is still better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Never once. Never once.
Yeah.
I think Wednesday was maybe the latest day we ever published, once or twice.
Totally.
But never skipped.
That is definitely reflected, one, and a little bit on this episode of we had to reschedule this meeting. And then also, you remember the Christmas Corona pod?
Yes.
We were talking about that last week.
Forget?
We're sitting there. El Moreno, El Rubio, and I are all in like different corners of California. We're on Zoom.
Wi-Fi's crap.
All of our each one of our Wi-Fi's is terrible. It keeps dropping. The audio went in and out.
We're getting in arguments because
we're
we
getting
don't like the
Creative
concept.
idea,
We don't like-
creative conflict.
We were on Zoom for like an hour already.
Tensions were high.
Like,
Some guy's eating
It was
turkey,
like
another
it was
person's like
Chuck, it was
eating pie.
Chuck and me versus El Rubio, basically.
everyone wanted
We're not
to
bringing
throw in
Santa.
the towel.
Oh man.
Every single one of us wanted to throw in the towel, and it was really El Moreno and El Rubio that were like, no, we're doing this no matter what, even if it's 5 minutes.
No matter how pissed we are on the.
Yeah.
Even if it's 5 minutes long. For real. But then what?
We're all
Like we got some
cranky.
momentum go after we got over all our
Yeah.
egos and everything. Like we got some momentum going. And
Great
it was fun. It
podcast.
was
Great podcast. I want to go
There it
back
is.
and listen to that one again, honestly.
Yeah, that'll be worth a revisit.
Hey, really damn proud of 100 episodes.
Hell
and
yeah.
300 whatever posts. It's just, we put our art out there, but really damn proud and proud to be doing it with you, El Moreno and Chuck
too,
Areno,
bro.
Gus, guys, bringing you on, expanding
Same.
the creative team, everything you guys are bringing to the table. We're legit.
Yeah.
Too legit to
We're
quit.
really.
Hell yeah.
It's just we're just ramping up. You know.
Yeah.
I meant like what I said earlier about like trying to wrangle like.
Yes, it
We
needs some
haven't.
wrangling.
We don't got it figured out yet. Like with all you guys. Like.
Yeah.
But it's gonna happen. And once it does, it's gonna be like jet fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you guys think what you've seen when you've been here is fast, like
Oh man.
wait till we all are really running. You know.
Mm.
In
When we're
In
dialed.
unison. Yeah, and we're dialed.
Yeah.
We need more podcasts like this. This is
Yeah.
This is cool.
Also,
Wow.
thank you
Yeah.
to the listeners, man.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
For coming
Big
out.
Great
for the
call.
listeners.
You
Yeah.
know that because I
Shout out
mean,
to you guys.
I know that we would be doing this anyway if two guys were listening and it's
Yeah.
like two of our dads. but it definitely adds to the degree of success that people are out there, like whoever's listening to me speak right now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they tune in because they believe in us.
Absolutely,
You know?
man.
So,
Dude, and to that point, we've said this often a lot on the podcast actually, but yeah, we don't have a boss and we're not, no one's really putting the pressure on it, but you know who is? Our customers
Yeah.
and our listeners
Oh, yeah.
and the people who show up every
Mhm.
time and open the emails and read the stuff and chase. Like,
Yeah.
these are the guys. They're our boss.
Yeah.
That's who our bosses are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
They are.
Makes-
So-
yeah.
Our buddy
Complete sense.
Shamaine in the comments.
Yep.
Mhm.
Number
Oh,
one
yeah, dude.
comment
Classic
guy.
comments.
Yeah.
there.
Number one
Every
does not
post-
skip a
blog
beat, man.
But he's always got a lot to bring to the table.
That's he's the epitome of always show up.
Yeah.
Dude, and honestly,
Every
honestly,
Every
for sure.
but
No
you
doubt.
you read
For
his
7
comments.
years, dude.
Every time I read his comments, I learn something though. Like he's got like some interesting stuff that he mentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Longhairs,
All right, man.
here for episode number 100.
Hundo.
I think it would be only appropriate and fitting to have El Chuckarino
Oh,
close
yeah.
us out today.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, Chuck, take it
Chuck.
on here.
Give me this mic back. Are you ready, guys?
I'm ready.
Oh, we're
And we're all gonna close out this way here too.
ready. Trying to get ready here. Okay. Yeah. We're ready.
Okay. All right, Longhairs. This has been episode 100 of the Let It Ride podcast. Today you've been listening to El Moreno, El Rubio, El Spencerino, El Sicario, El Gustavo, El Garvinsky, and El Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Be sure to check out the world's finest hair ties for men, hair ties for guys. You can find them at thelonghairs.us. Don't forget to follow us on all our social channels at The Longhairs on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube. Subscribe to
LinkedIn.
our LinkedIn. Subscribe to our channel, our new YouTube channel, Let It Ride. This is probably where you're watching it, if you're watching it. And thank you for listening, boys.